race for the Championship playoff berth is well and truly on track as Blackburn Rovers suffer a shock defeat and, of course, big wins for the likes of QPR. Who's going to take advantage this midweek? We'll take a look at it, all of it, next. Today we're for match number 38 over in the Championship, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe and keep your bang up today. All things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, board football related. We're gonna know here, boys. Under one Ruski, of course, yes. Drop points from Fulham at the top of the table as they couldn't get a win over Barnsley, but of course, big wins for Bournemouth as of course they moved back into the top two, and of course. Surprise defeats for the likes of Blackburn Rovers and co. We'll take a look at it, all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They're the patrons, guys. Thank you for loving, of course, behind the scenes. If you want to help us out, check out the link down below, patreon.com/overseas. So anyway, it's not been great, has it, really, for Rovers? Absolutely shit show extraordinaire. These are the results, of course. We'll have a look at it. To be honest with you, I'm slowly losing my belief in my boys here, and I'm not just talking about my playoff hopes. I'm just talking about the fight. Is there any fucking fight left? I'm sorry about the language, but is there any fight left at Ewood Park? Can they actually just have a bloody go, will you? Just have a go for it, will you? It's just shit show extraordinaire. Back-to-back home games without a goal. It's toothless, mate. It's toothless. It's toothless bloody football, and it's doing my kitchen. Anyway, let's get the teeth back and, of course, take a look at Bournemouth. They picked up a 2-0 win over Derby, their first win in a long, long time over Derby. They've managed to break their hoodoo on that one. Birmingham could only muster a 0-0 draw against Hull City. Blackburn Rovers shit show against Bristol City. I'm not even going to go on to that anymore. Blackpool, of course, 1-0 win over Swansea. Cardiff City 0-0 draw against Preston. Coventry City big winners over Sheffield. United gave us a hope that we could maybe hang on in there. Barnsley, of course, with the draw against Fulham, monster result there. Millwall with a 0-0 draw against Middlesbrough. A lot of home teams disappointing this weekend at home. Luton Town, of course, lost to QPR. Remember the 2-2, it was a 2-1 in the end. Forest, of course, picked up a 4-0 win over Reading. They're within striking distance as well. 2-2 draw it was. Peterborough against Stoke, and West Brom 2-2 against Huddersfield, and a massive comeback for Stevie Bruce's boys. That's the results. I'm not even going to count mine up. I don't feel it. I don't feel the love right now. I just feel quite angry. I feel angry, disappointed, let down. That's it. I feel let down. Disappointed, you know, and I feel for the guys who go to Ewood week in, week out, go on the travels to watch this drivel for the last 10 games. When are they going to fucking find the back of the net, really? This is the state of play of the table. Have I got it right? Keep you up to 59 points. I do have it right. There it is. All its glory. Take a look at what you will. Rovers could find themselves down as low as 9th this week. Of course, a lot of teams have played. Rovers are one of the teams that have played a lot of their games. So we're already ahead of ourselves a little bit. So just get the win against Derby. Maybe we could back that up against result against Reading. And I know I don't want to get ahead of myself, even though I am. But this week is the last week before the international break. Hopefully Diaz will come back unscathed for Chile. Anyway, let's move on. Let's kick on. I don't want to dwell on it. These are how the guys got on with the old prediction league. Take a bow. Kevin. Of course, 7 points there. Russell Frost up there. Andy Dagg, 37-7, of course, in the top 3. And a big shout out to the patrons who are giving the channel some extra love these days. This is the mini leaderboard for the second half of the season. Not the full leaderboard, but the mini leaderboard. 82 points on the board for Shane O'Donnell. Well done to you, boy. And, of course, Hans versus in second. And 37-7 for the time being. Of course, we'll bring you bang up to date. When, of course, not next one, but the one after that, we'll be back, of course, as we head into the month of April, and we'll bring you bang up to date with the Master Leaderboard, of course. But anyway, get involved. Cut 4 Championship is free to enter. Good bit of fun. Click, 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 click. Get in amongst it. Get your naming rights next weekend. So here we go. Another week of action. Another shit show extraordinaire, I can imagine. So I'm going to be brutal. On my boys here. So here we go. Bournemouth up against, of course, Reading. That'll take place on Tuesday night on the 15th of March. Now, these two sides have played each other 8 times since 2013. 6 for Bournemouth, 1 for Reading, and 1 draw of course. Bournemouth, though, just 1 defeat past 6 for them, 75% form. Up against the Reading side, who've lost 3 in the bouts, 42% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around, though, at Bournemouth was a 4-2 win for Bournemouth. That was back in November 2020. The reverse fixture at the Matchday back in October this season was a 2-0 win for Bournemouth. Yes, it was. Bournemouth coming into this on the back of a 2-0 win over Derby. Of course, for Reading haven't scored in back-to-back games. Of course, losing to Forest last time around, 4-0 loss for them. Look at the odds on this one. Bournemouth 11-4 for the Richie. That's 11-4 on. 13-2 is your way, and that's Reading, and 17-4 is your draw. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Reading, for Bournemouth on this one. Of course, I am. A comfortable win for Bournemouth as they break away from the playoff pack. Next, of course, we have Birmingham City up against Middlesbrough. Let's get in the deep end on this one. Now, these two sides have played 33 times since 1983. 11 wins for Birmingham, 15 wins for Borough, and 7 draws. Of course, just 1 win at the past 5 games for Birmingham. 50% form for them right now. Up against the Middlesbrough side, who've come into this back-to-back games without a win for them. 58% form for them. Of course, last time they played each other over at St Andrews was a 4-1 win for Middlesbrough back in December 2020. The reverse fixture over the Riverside was a 2-0 win for Birmingham back in October this calendar year, or this calendar whatever season or whatever. Birmingham with a 0-0 draw last round against Hull, of course, and Middlesbrough the same against Millwall. 0-0 it was. So both sides looking for a goal after they bounce back on for this midweek game. Look at the odds. 9-4 is your Birmingham. 9-4 is your draw. 65 is your Borough. They are favourites for this one. Going to go with a 0-0 draw for this on this for everybody. Point in the bag. Birmingham will be the happy, Middlesbrough will be pissed. Next, of course, we have my boys, Blackburn Rovers against Derby. I've given up. Played each other 28 times in 1986, 12 wins for Rovers, 9 wins for Derby, and 7 draws. Just 1 win in the last 6 for Rovers right now, 33% form. Up against the Derby side, won twice in the past 6, 33% form for them at the moment. Last time around, though, over at Ewood Park was a 2-1 win for Derby back in April 2021. The reverse fixture at Pride Park was a 2-1 win for Rovers as well. So Rovers actually won 3 in the spin against Derby, but of course, it's going to end. It's going to end, guys. Don't worry about it. It's going to end. Derby, your pain's going to end. Of course, Rovers did lose to Bristol City last round and haven't scored in fucking who knows when. 1 goal in 9. 1 goal in 9. There it is. That's the stat. Put it in your bank and keep it. Derby, though, coming to this on the back of a $2 loss against Bournemouth. The odds on this one, Derby are actually 17-4 for the victory. 11-8 odd is your Rovers. They are the favourites, even though you shouldn't even go there. 13-5 is your draw. I've gone with a 0-0 draw because we're shit, mate. We're shit right now, and I can't see us getting a goal because we're shit. We have got no confidence, no belief, no nothing. We're absolutely Kukless FC. Got bullshit going. We're Bottle Job FC, Toothless FC. We need a fucking goal, mate. You just need a goal. Convince me that there's some fight left in the tank. Otherwise, I'm done with you. Well, I'm never done with you, but I'm upset. I'm upset with you. If you can't do this, if you can't outfox Rooney in the dugout, mate, a paper bag could outfox Rooney in the dugout. No disrespect, but I'm just saying, Mowbray, this is your world. You're supposed to be a manager, a tactician. Out-tactic Wayne Rooney, please. I'm begging you, please. Anyway, kicking off forward, though, Barnsley. They're going to be taking on, of course, Bristol City in the Battle of the Bees, of course, coming at you out of Oakwell. Let's get the deep end on this one. Played 38 times in 1993, 10 wins for Barnsley, 16 wins for Bristol City, and 12 draws. Of course, just 1 defeat in the past 5 for Barnsley right now, 50% form. One of the form teams you would imagine. Up against Bristol City side, of course, won twice in the past 6, 33% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around, though, over at Oakwell, it was a 2-2 draw back in October 2020. The reverse fixture at Thrashton Gate was a 2-1 win for Bristol City. It was. Meanwhile, of course, Barnsley picked up a draw against Fulham, back-to-back draws for them. Up against Bristol City side, picked up a win over Rovers at Ewood Park, lastminute.com. Yes, it was. Barnsley 29-20 for the Richie, 11-5 is your draw, 50-8 is your away when that's Bristol City. You're going to back, of course, Barnsley here with a 1-0 win. Because they've just got the bit between the teeth right now and they're trying to fight for their lives. Kicking on forward is Forest. That's Nottingham Forest. Up against, of course, QPR, another playoff encounter as each week there's 1 or 2 of these bangers. Played 35 times in 94, 15 wins for Forest, 7 wins for QPR, and 13 draws, of course. Forest, though, coming to 75% form for them right now, winning 3 of the last 4. Up against the QPR side, of course, 2 wins and 2 defeats in the past 4 games, 42% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time round at the City Ground was a 3-1 win for Forest. That's back in April 2021. The reverse fixture at Loftus Road was, of course, 1-1 draw back in October. Forest picking up a 4-0 win over Reading. Of course, QPR hot off the press, beating Luton last round, 2-1 win for them. Looking at the odds on this one, we have 11-10 is your Forest, 12-5 is your QPR, and 12-5 is also your draw. Back, of course, Forest here, 3-1 win for them. QPR taking the L on this one. Of course, Forest are they're criminally good. And it will be a shame for them to not make the playoffs, in all honesty. And I did have them doing it at the start of the season with whoever else that was in charge. But now they're the real deal. West Brom against Fulham, another must-win, I would say, for the Baggies. If they were to win this one, they could be right back in the thick of things, of course. Played 26 times in 1989, 4 wins for the Baggies, 11 wins for Fulham, and 11 draws. Back-to-back games now for West Brom without a win, with a win, or unbeaten, so to say, 33% form. Up against the Fulham side, of course, unbeaten the last 5, picked up 4 wins and a draw, 75% form for them. at the moment. Last time around at the Hawthorns was a 2-2 draw back in, of course, January 2021 in the Premier League. The reverse fixture at Fulham was a 3-0 win for Fulham back in October. Coming at you though, of course, West Brom with a 2-2 draw against Huddersfield Town. Of course, Fulham with a 1-1 draw against Barnsley. The odds on this one then, shall we? 25 is your West Brom, 21-20 is your Fulham, and 25 is your draw. Quite tight in the bookies on this one. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw again on this one, which again is probably not going to suit either of the two sides. Fulham want to get this one done and dusted, and of course, West Brom want to get back to winning ways. So 2-2 in the end for that one. Blackpool will take on Sheffield United, of course, at Bloomfield Road. Now, these two sides, of course, played each other 10 times since 2007. 2 wins for Blackpool, 3 for Sheffield United, and 5 draws. Just 3 wins on the spin for Blackpool right now. 58% form up against the Sheffield United side, of course. Just 1 win and 4 for them, 58% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around, though, over at Bloomfield Road was the 0-0 draw back in January 2016. That was in League One, might I add. Last time played though at Bramall Lane. That was this season. Back in October, was a 1-0 win for Blackpool back in the day. Of course, Blackpool picked up a 1-0 win over Swansea, back-to-back clean sheets for them. Up against the Sheffield United side, of course, who got a bit of a stinger against Coventry last time around, and again, remain on the road. Look at the odds on this one. 5-2 is your Blackpool, 23-20 is your Sheffield United, 11-5 is your draw. Don't know what went wrong for Sheffield United, of course, against Coventry. I haven't seen that match highlights or anything like that. I just don't know what went. 4-1 loss against Coventry. I didn't expect that. Well, I'm going to 1-0 win for Blackpool on this one at home. 3 games on the bounce. They are awkward, but I think they'll get the W. Kicking off forward is Cardiff. They're going to be taking on, of course, Stoke City. Now, this one's always an awkward one, so give me a minute to take a little look at this one. I'll probably going to take place on Tuesday. I can confirm or deny that in a second. Of course, taking place on the 16th. It's actually Wednesday of March at Cardiff City Stadium. Now, these two sides have played each other 19 times, 2003. 7 wins for Cardiff, 6 for Stoke, and 6 draws. Of course, Cardiff, though, unbeaten the last 3, 50% form up against the Stoke side, who, of course, haven't won in the last 8 games. Good description of me. The last time played each other over in Wales, it was a 0-0 draw back in March 2021. The reverse fixture over at the Bet365 Stadium was the 3-3 draw back in October. Cardiff, though, pick up a 0-0 draw against Preston, and, of course, Stoke pick up a 2-2 draw against Peterborough. It's actually been back-to-back draws as well. The last win for them was against, I've got to go back to a 3-0 win for Stoke against Swansea back in Feb. Kicking on forward though, what are we looking at the odds? I've got basic odds on this one coming at you. Where are they? Where the heck are they? Basic odds go in favour of Cardiff. They are the favourite on this one. Stoke are your underdogs. So back, of course, the home side here. 2-1 win for them, as the bookies go with it. So do I. 2-1 win for them. Kicking on forward. Kicking next up, of course, we have Coventry up against Hull City at the Rico. Now, these two sides have played each other 11 times, 2005. 5 wins for Coventry, 4 for Hull, and 2 draws. Of course, just 1 win and 4 though for Coventry. Now 58% on a big win it was. Up against the Hull City side, just 1 win and 6 of them, 42% for them at that moment. Of course, last time around, Coventry was a 1-0 win for Hull back in December 2011. That was in the Championship. The reverse fixture at the KCOM was a 1-0 win for Coventry back in October this season. Meanwhile, 4-1 win for Coventry over Sheffield United, of course, big win for them, and Hull pick up a 0-0 draw against Birmingham City. The odds for this one then, Coventry 5-3 on for the Richie, 11-4 is your draw, 90-4 is your away win. That's Hull City. Going to go with, of course, Coventry here. Back-to-back wins for them, and of course, back into the playoff hunt, you would imagine. Millwall up against Huddersfield Town, of course, the in-form Huddersfield Town over against the in-form Millwall. Played each other 23 times in 1985, 7 wins for Millwall, 12 wins for Huddersfield Town, and 4 draws, of course. Millwall, though, unbeaten in the last 6 games, picking up 4 wins. In fact, it's probably more than that. Probably unbeaten in the last 7 games, maybe. I think they won 5 on the spin before that, so I'm going to say 4 wins on the spin, 2 draws, were 83% for Millwall. Up against Sheffield, against the Huddersfield Town side, 75% for. Back-to-back games without a win though, losing in the FA Cup and drawing with West Brom just the other day. Last time around over the Den, it was a 3-0 win for Huddersfield back in October 2020. The reverse fixture over at the John Smith's Kirklees Stadium was a 1-0 win for Huddersfield back in October. Huddersfield picked up a 2-2 draw against the Baggies, and of course Millwall with a 0-0 draw against Middlesbrough. Back-to-back 0-0 draws, back-to-back clean sheets. In fact, 4 clean sheets on the bounce for Millwall at the moment. Looking at the odds right now, Millwall 30-10 for the Richie, 210 is your Huddersfield, 210 is your draw. So the bookies are back in Millwall on this one. I'm backing them also with the 1-0 win, and again moving closer to the dream of playoffs. Kicking on forward is Luton Town. They're going to be taking on Preston North End down Kenilworth Road. Now these two sides have played each other 9 times, 2005, 4 wins apiece and 1 draw. Of course, 1-3 lost 3 of the last 6 for Luton, 50% form up against the Preston Town side, Preston North End up against the Preston North End side, who have just lost once the past 6 and then 58% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around though at Kenilworth Road was a 3-0 win for Luton. That was back in December 2020. The reverse fixture down deep there was a 2-0 win for Preston back in, of course, October. Preston coming into this on the back of a 0-0 draw against Cardiff. Of course, Luton with the lastminute.com loss against QPR last time around. The odds 30-10 is your Luton, 11-5 is your Preston, 11-5 is your draw. I'm backing a draw, I think, on this one, 2-2 in the end, and I think Preston will be a bit more happy with that. Luton, of course, getting the hopes dented week in, week out as they strive towards the playoffs. And then finally, Peterborough up against Swansea. Is the dream of survival still on the cards? well. So Peterborough, if this is a big test for them, a big chance for them to get a massive 3 points. Play each other 7 times, 5-1 for Peterborough, 5 for Swansea, and 1 draws. Back-to-back games without a loss now for Peterborough, 17% form. Up against the Swansea side, who've lost back-to-back as well. They've won 3, lost 3 in the last 6, 50% form for them. Last time the pressure though at Peterborough in the league was a 2-2 draw back in December 2009. The last time pressure though in ever was a 3-0 win for Swansea back in Wales back in October this season. Meanwhile, Swansea pick up a 1-0 loss against Blackpool. Of course, Stoke and Peterborough do get out to a 2-2 draw. The odds on this one, 13-5 is your hosts, 12-5 is your draw, 20-19 on is your Swansea on this one. I'm going to back a 1-0 win for Peterborough on this one to take it to the house. Goodness gracious me. 1-0 win for Peterborough for this one. So, yeah, a big win for them. And, of course, maybe move the chains as well. Cutley Force Championship, if we want to get involved. Prediction League, getting amongst it. That's, of course, the business end of the stuff. And, yeah, that's for the business end of this one. But, of course, we'll be back midweek for the next one, of course. But until then, guys, smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe. See you soon for the next one. Until, of course, whatever that is, that'll be Thursday. But until then, we're done right now.